What's up guys, welcome to another episode, and in this episode I'm going to compare my 2025 Kawasaki ZX6R to a motorcycle that I actually loved so much, which was the Street Triple RS, and to this day I miss it a whole lot. Let's start off with the ZX6R since I'm writing at the current moment. Now you see, a ZX6R is the closest thing that you're going to get to a Yamaha R6, at least in the United States. If you're in Europe, then you're pretty lucky because you have the brand new CBR 600, which is all decked out with electronics and updated fairings and everything brand new. We unfortunately in the United States still have the old generation CBR. As far as the Gixxer, same exact thing. It's an old motorcycle that really hasn't changed much. Although change is not exactly a good thing, sometimes it can be. You know, like everybody wants fairings that look a little bit up to date, right? I don't necessarily care about electronics, hence why I bought the ZX6R. I mostly care about a bike that looks good and it makes me feel good. Those are two things that I really look for in a motorcycle. That being said, the ZX6R not only looks sensational in the Kawasaki green, but if you're not down for Kawasaki green, this motorcycle also comes in pearl white, pearl robotic white, let me go ahead and correct myself, and it also comes in a black color. So you get three colors with this bike, which is great. So if you're looking for a full fairing motorcycle, something that revs out to 15,000 RPM, which is totally unheard of in 2025, considering a lot of motorcycles are lower in displacements and a lot of smaller bikes these days compared to, I don't know, when I first started riding 2017, that was like the peak. Now I'm saying the peak of motorcycling. You had the 600 era, everything was the R6, my old R6, the 2020 model, was pumping out 16,000 RPMs. Holy crap, that motorcycle just kept revving and revving and revving. It never stopped, and that's one of the reasons why I love that motorcycle. But a close second to that motorcycle, I'm just putting it out there, a close second for me is the ZX6R. The thing I love about these inline 4 engines is that they rev out so high and they sound absolutely incredible, kind of like one of those V10 F1 cars of back in the days. You know what I'm talking about? Like those F1 cars sounded absolutely amazing. We don't have that anymore, and sooner or later, you know, motorcycles like Kawasaki ZX6R are gonna start disappearing. Maybe, I don't know. With Trump now, things might change a little bit, but you know, we still have Europe, and Europe still has their very strict laws. But here in the United States, I think laws are going to get a little bit more lax as a result of Trump. But politics aside, okay, that's not what we're talking about here. Politics aside, these motorcycles are a gem, and this is why I got back into riding 600s. You see, I came from something that was extreme, and that was an RSV4. The RSV4 is every little boy's wet dream, you know, when it comes to power, when it comes to incredible looks and the sound. That's one motorcycle that I would probably say sounds just as good as an inline 4, if not better. I don't know, it's a very difficult toss-up. What sounds better? Is it an RSV4 or is it an inline 4 engine? But you know, that's one of the reasons why I bought that motorcycle, because it sounds absolutely incredible. I also love the way it looked. But if you know about its history, I didn't have such a good experience, and I got rid of it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm buying a ZX6R because these motorcycles are absolutely incredible. Those who say that the ZX6R is weak and doesn't have enough power, you're nuts, bro. You are absolutely crazy. This has a ton of power. It's got 128 horsepower at the crank, and it has 52 foot-pounds of torque. That's just going off of memory, so if I'm wrong, I'll put a caption on the screen. So as far as power is concerned with this motorcycle, not an issue at all. It weighs 430 pounds wet, 436 with ABS, I believe. But that's not an issue because with weight savings, I plan to bring this motorcycle down to about close to 400, if not 400. My R6, I was down to 398 pounds when I was done with the weight savings and all the mods that I did to it. So I plan to do the exact same thing, just that lately I've been extremely busy with Motorcycle Mastery. If you guys have been following along, now that's done. and now I'm moving in a couple of days, so kind of taking a little break from everything. But as soon as I'm at my new place, the modding begins on this motorcycle, and I'm going to start shedding some weight. The next exhaust that's going to go on this is going to be the LV Corsa, which is going to be extremely loud. So I'm actually afraid for my ears for that one. And then finally, when that's complete, we're going to be installing the full M4 exhaust and then tuning this bad boy, where on the dyno charts that I've seen from Nate at Two Wheel Dyno Works, he sent me a dyno chart where this bad boy with a full tune, full exhaust, as well as something else, I forgot exactly what it was. Stacks, yeah, stacks. So with stacks and all that other stuff, this bad boy goes all the way up to 127 to the wheel, not to the crank, to the wheel. But anyway, it's got Nissan calipers, nothing fancy, right? It's got Nissan calipers in the front, Nissan calipers in the rear. Showa big piston forks in the front, nothing fancy, no Öhlins, none of that stuff, but I don't think it's necessary. This motorcycle is highly capable as is. If you want to turn it into a full track bike, you know, at that point, you know, you can make a decision to upgrade parts here and there. But considering it's going to spend 95% of its life on the street, I'm quite happy with everything that this motorcycle has. On the other side of the coin, and why we're doing this video, is because we want to compare it to the Street Triple RS. So let's go ahead and talk about that now. This will be a good, nice, smooth segue. The Street Triple RS is a motorcycle that I've had the longest. That is the longest running motorcycle I've ever owned. 4 years. Now you see, I had that motorcycle in 2020. Got that bike 2020, brand new off of the showroom floor. And then I sold it in 2024. There's nothing about that motorcycle that I don't like. Absolutely nothing. 4 years is, you know, a long time, and I wanted something different, and that's the only reason why I sold that motorcycle. I debated for a long time if I wanted to get rid of it in the first place, but then I did. And you know what? I kind of regret it, because I want that motorcycle back. It's an awesome motorcycle. The performance and the handling is incredible. Anyway, let's enjoy a little bit. Now, if you're familiar with Triumph motorcycles, one of the most beloved motorcycles that Triumph ever created is the Daytona. The Daytona 675 is a motorcycle, I'm not exactly sure how many of those motorcycles were ever sold, but if you go to Cycle Trader and you try to search for a Daytona 765, they're still very expensive, and they're very sought after even to this day. And so the Street Triple RS is kind of like a big brother to the Daytona, except it's in the naked form. And so with the Street Triple RS that I had, it was a 765 with the updated engine. And as a matter of fact, it's the same exact engine that is currently on the Moto 2 motorcycles. Except the Moto 2 motorcycles have titanium rods and blah 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 and this and that. Of course, it's a little bit different, but it's exactly the same motor, exactly the same displacement, and similar horsepower, but they're designed a little bit differently to withstand that kind of racing pressure in a Moto 2 class. God, I love this bike. Okay, yeah baby, this motorcycle is a rush. Anyway, getting back to the Street Triple RS, because I used to have lots of shenanigan fun like that with the Street Triple RS as well. And the thing with the Street Triple RS is that the horsepower on that bike is a little down compared to this. I believe that was 124, 125, I kind of forgot, but it had more torque. Now you see, this motorcycle has got 52 foot-pounds of torque. The Street Triple RS has 58 foot-pounds of torque. So you definitely have more torque. And one of the great things about the 765, obviously higher displacement, 765, you got more torque. It's going to feel a little bit more lively on the street than this motorcycle. But the thing with the 2025 ZX6R is that it's a lot more road friendly than the previous generation ZX6R. As far as technology goes, the brand new 2024-2025 Street Triple RSs are pretty decked out. I would say electronically they're far more superior than the ZX6R. It's got a full IMU system and, you know, the good stuff that all motorcycles these days have as far as electronics go. But the thing about the Triumph motorcycles is that they always have high-end components. You get an Öhlins rear shock, but you get standard Showa big piston forks in the front. If my memory serves me correctly, I could be wrong. You do get a Brembo master cylinder in the front. You get Brembo M50 calipers. Well, at least my 2020 had, but I think the 2024 models have the beefed up Stylemas, which my RSV4 had, which is crazy. So the previous generation, top of the line Brembo brakes are now on the 2025 Street Triple RS, which is incredible. So not only do you get like top of the range electronics, but you also get top of the range hardware on a motorcycle that only costs about $12,000. So if you compare apples to apples, you know, I mean, price is very similar, right? You want similar pricing, but you want more value for money? I would say that Street Triple RS is probably more value for money. But where the ZX6R shines is probably in the looks department. There's nothing better looking than a motorcycle that's fully faired, right? I mean, the ZX6R with its fairings and this green color scheme, it's just gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous. So a naked motorcycle, the way naked motorcycles were founded were from people who bought these kind of bikes, crushed them, removed the fairings, and then all of a sudden they became naked motorcycles with different handlebars just to make it a little bit more comfortable. That's why naked motorcycles exist. The Street Triple RS is still very much a sport bike, just like this motorcycle is. The only real difference is that does not have fairings. So if you want performance, a Street Triple RS is going to provide just as much performance as a motorcycle like a ZX6R, except top-end power is going to suffer a little bit, only because it doesn't have fairings. If you've been keeping up with my videos, I took the Street Triple RS to the track multiple times. And as a matter of fact, an Auto Club Speedway, I believe, with tons of turbulence, that I think I pushed that thing up to 143 miles an hour. If my memory serves me correctly, it's been a very long time. But anyway, that motorcycle may not have top end speed, but I was battling with leader bikes on that motorcycle. It corners like an absolute housefly. And you know, with the Brembo brakes and with the suspension and everything, it gives you so much confidence in and out of the corners. I felt like somebody who actually has more skill. And it's only because that motorcycle makes you feel so damn confident. Unfortunately, I haven't taken the ZX6R to the track as of yet, only because I've been extremely busy developing motorcycle mastery and just life in general. What I need to do is I need to put a hitch on my car, because my car is new and I don't have a hitch on it. But as soon as I do that, now is the time to take the ZX6R to the track, which I'm hoping can be done in the next month or two. At the end of the day, you know, like, you got to really think about it. The ZX6R, it's a sport bike. It's got clip-ons, it's a lower handlebar, it's got foot pegs that are higher up. Buy the ZX6R for its intended purpose, which is to take it to the track. Unfortunately, I bought it for that purpose. I haven't gone yet, but a couple of times per year, if you buy this motorcycle, use it for what it was intended to be used for. On the other hand, the Street Triple RS is a motorcycle that you can ride all day, every day, not only on the track, but also on the street, because it's a lot more comfortable. It's not as aggressive as this motorcycle in its seating position and ergonomics. But if you can compromise a little bit of comfort, the ZX6R is also a fantastic choice. One thing is absolutely clear though, the ZX6R will have a much better resale value than the Street Triple RS. Unfortunately, with Triumph, resale values plummet. So a $12,000 motorcycle in 1 or 2 years, if you sell it back to the dealership, they'll probably give you like 8 grand for it, 7 grand for it. If you sell on the private market, you'll probably get about 9 grand for it, but you're gonna have to wait 6 months or more for it to be sold. Ask me how I know this. and you're going to get people who are going to haggle you to death. But the resale value on a ZX6R is way higher. Like I can list this motorcycle today, and in a week it'll be gone, and I won't lose a lot of money in the process. If you're looking for value for money, the Street Triple RS, hands down, only because of its top shelf components, better electronics, and it's a premium company made by Triumph. Not saying Kawasaki isn't a premium brand, but it's got a premium feel, you know what I mean? Like, once you own a Triumph, you'll know exactly what it is I'm talking about. But on the other hand, if you want absolute lunacy, a little bit of squid fun every now and then, and you want something that revs out all the way to 15,000 RPM and has that sublime inline 4 sound, then the ZX6R is for you. And of course, you have to figure out if you want to compromise with comfort or not. And that, boys and girls, is my comparison of the ZX6R versus the Street Triple RS. Whether you're getting a 2025 model or my old 2020 model, both fantastic bikes. Drop a comment down below what you think of this video, and don't forget, give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.